Let's pull this out, see what we got. Sort of looks the same, but kind of looks different too. What's this? There's the directions. If you got any questions, you can always read the directions. Okay? Now, upon first inspection, they look pretty close to being the same. Okay? This old one just happened to have a metal rod here that you could adjust with this little clip here. You press it together and you can slide this up or down, see? And first try that, you know, if your toilet's leaking or if it's running continuously. Well, I did that and nothing happened, so I know there's something wrong inside the actual head. Okay, but they're always trying to figure out how to make something cheaper, so, you know, they've done it by, instead of having a metal rod like this one, they've just put a plastic screw rod in there, and then you can adjust it with this screw at the top. Okay? And $8, you know, that's pretty good. You can fix this whole thing for $8. All right? And this one here looks shorter for some reason than this one. Well, I'll show you that too. I'll show you what we're going to do. The first thing you got to know is this will adjust, and the way to do that is there's a little plastic sleeve here, and you push that up out of the way. Then you can kind of twist this a little bit or unscrew it. You can unscrew it or kind of pull on it. See how it slides? So you can adjust this however tall you need it. It's important that once you get it to the right height, you slip this back over and there's a definite little notch here that it fits in, okay? You gotta make sure that you have that down in there and you have this clipped over so this is not gonna pop off. Because if you don't have that on there, when you fill your toilet back up, this could pop off. And then you have to readjust it. It's easier to adjust it now than after you install it, okay? So that's how you do that. Just move that, see how it slides like that, and then you take the sleeve and push down on it. Now it won't slide, okay? How are we going to get the right length? Well, I'll show you that, but I want to show you something else first. Okay, when you pull that out of the box, you might see something like this. You might think, what the heck is this? Well, these are all your little parts. So just pull this out. Just lift it and pull that out. I'm going to pull all this stuff out and kind of straighten it out. You're not going to need this for right now. I'll talk about that later. And they've given you two different types of nuts because it depends how your fill valve on your wall is and which one of these you're going to use, okay? And then you also look at this rubber gasket here, and there's something in the middle. Well, that's if you're going to use, if you have to use this end for your fitting for your toilet. We're going to use this one here, so we don't need to use this one. But for this one, there's a little washer, rubber washer in the middle of here. You got to pop that out. You don't leave that in there. Okay, and it's just attached. You just kind of break it off and pull that out of there. So see, if you had a different type of fill valve, you would then put this on there and slip it up there, and then that would fit down inside of here and all that good stuff. You just match it up to what you have on your wall. Okay, so but we're not going to use this. Bye-bye. We're going to use this. Now, before we put this into the toilet, we've got to put our little washer thing on here. So we're going to put that on the bottom here with this tit sticking down, okay? And you got to make sure you push that all the way up on there, like that. All right, so far so good. Now we can put this down into the toilet tank and get our adjustment for the height of this tree. Before we do anything, we're just going to kind of acclimate ourselves to this and see how it's going to work. Okay, we've got that rubber washer kind of fit up in there. Just going to push that down in there. It's just going to fit like that, and I'm going to decide, see there's a little fill valve right here where the water comes out. So I want that facing kind of at an angle, you know, at a 45-degree angle this way. I don't want to have this twisted over, because then this valve is sticking out that way. Then I've got to kind of wrap my little pipe piece over. And so I'm just going to kind of look at this and see where I want to place it. I'm probably going to place it about like that. Now and see, that's going to give me enough room so it doesn't hit the side of the toilet for my little float. See this float that goes up and down. And so just kind of look at things and kind of be aware of how you're gonna do that. Remember this little hose? See, that's going to get connected onto there. But I'm going to leave that off right now. And then it's going to go up and over, and I'll have to cut this off. But see, if I had that on there, I had it twisted way over here, it would still work. But because this is flexible enough, it probably wouldn't kink later on down the road. But you know, if I angle this too much that direction, see how this gets over too close to here, and then your ball starts getting fatter over to the edge of this side here. So I'm just going to try to angle it slightly so that my fill valve, my little fill valve, is kind of coming out at a 45-degree angle, about like that. You know? Okay. Now, to figure out how to adjust this. The thing to realize with this adjusts from 9 inches to 14 inches, it says on the box. So what you want to do is probably measure inside your toilet up to the top and see how tall it is first off. So when you go to the store, you know, if you get something like this, maybe your tank is way taller than this. Well, this will adjust out to fit most tanks, not all tanks, okay? So this will fit a majority of tanks, but you might want to do yourself a favor and kind of measure things out. Measure your height of your tank first before you go to the store, because you might find something that looks kind of like this but may go way taller than this, okay? That's very important. You don't want to get home and put it all together and find out it's not going to work properly because this is not tall enough. Okay, so what I want the top of this pretty much level at the same height as this tank. Okay, so it's down a little bit low right now. Okay, so what I have to do is I'm just going to slide that off, kind of hang on to this and pull that out, put this back on like that, and push it back down in there. You see why I've got to have this rubber gasket on here on the bottom, because if I would have done that without this rubber gasket, I wouldn't have got the right height. Okay, put that down in there, and I see I'm still low. Okay, so if I can do that, and you can sometimes twist this too, and that might make it come out just a little bit. Okay, slide your little sleeve back down over there. There's a definite little hitch right there. Okay, make sure this stays up there tight, and then check it again. Okay, I'm getting closer. Go ahead and keep doing that and get your adjustment just right before the next step. The reason why we have to get this up at the right height is there's a mark on the side of it, and this mark needs to be an inch higher than the top of this. Okay, so that's why we've got to get this up high. If you have this down too low, it's not going to fill your tank properly. Okay? If you got any questions, read the directions. Once you have this about at your right height, make sure that this sleeve is pulled down. Now, if you need to lower this down a little bit, you can just screw this in. You just leave this here and you'll feel and hear a definite little clicking noise. Like that. You can adjust it that way too, okay? And if you want to make it taller, just unscrew this. You know? And make sure this is clipped down in there, okay? Why do you need it up? Well, that's to get it started. Then you can pop that down, clip it in there, and then adjust it, you know, back and forth, like that. Screw it in to lower it down. I got it too low there, so I'll unscrew it, make it a little higher. Okay, get that adjusted, and we'll get ready to tighten the nut on there underneath the toilet.